Hi, Tommy B here from KillarneyGardenCentre.com and welcome to today's video. In today's video we're going to concentrate on frost-proof hedging. In particular, two hedges that have survived even the harshest winters the last 2 years. One being laurel and two being beech. Also, I'm going to show you in this video how to plant what we call Bareroot hedging. Bareroot hedging is a hedging plant that comes without any soil around the roots. Now the best time to plant Bareroot hedging is November, because basically the soil is warmer right now this time of the year, so the roots of the hedge are going to root in quickly and easily into the soil. And also, come next spring, your hedging is rooted into the soil, so you get a full 12 months growth out of it. Now when you're planting Bareroot hedging, there's a few fundamental rules. Number one, as you can see, there's no soil around the roots, so we constantly make sure that the roots are covered either in soil or in a wet sack. That's number one. Number two, as you can see, when you transplant them, you'll often get this little piece of a wilt on top of your hedging. So when we've our hedge planted, we're actually going to cut the top of the hedging plant. This will have two benefits. Number one, it's going to encourage the roots to go further into the soil. That's number one. And number two, any rot that may happen on top of the plant will quite literally stop the rot by cutting it there, and that stabilizes the plant when you have it transplanted. Bareroot hedging generally is planted at 2 plants per metre. It's better to dig a channel along rather than dig individual holes. So when we have planted, it's important that the roots are totally and absolutely covered up to here, and that's what we're going to do now. I cannot emphasize enough that it's very, very important that the time that you leave these roots out needs to be as short as possible, so leave them covered until you're ready to transplant them. Now what we're going to do here is we'll mix our organic compost through the soil, and that's the bed that we put underneath our hedging just before we plant it. So that's an ideal bed of soil for the plant to root into. The next thing that I have to do is my fish blood and bone. That's a fertilizer that I spread around the roots, and effectively what that's going to do is draw the roots of the plant down into the soil. So we cover in our soil with our compost soil mix. And very, very important that when you're transplanting that you actually firm in the plant around with your heel. This ensures that you don't compact the soil, that you actually preserve drainage. So now we're ready to cover in the base of this plant. We firm it in with our heel. Before we cover it into ground level, what we're going to do is we'll take our next plant, which we're going to place at 1/2 metre from the original plant into the channel like this, and then we're ready to cover in our second plant. So once we've done planted in, all we need to do then is the top of the plant, we trim that back, and what that ensures is that the roots root into the soil, and also that we don't get a rot at the top of the plant. Very, very important. Now exactly the same procedure for transplanting the laurel we use for transplanting the beech hedging. However, you'll notice that the roots of the beech hedging are longer than the laurel, so we'll dig a deeper channel. The same fertilizer, we can use the fish blood and bone, we'll put that around the roots and we'll firm them in exactly the same way. When we have transplanted our beech plant, we'll use our secateurs just to trim off the top piece, and then it's perfectly planted. Now if you're looking for an instant hedge, this is a laurel plant which comes in a root ball. Now the difference between a root ball plant and a Bareroot plant is the root ball plant comes with a ball of soil around the root. Also it comes with a massive advantage of being 3 years ahead of the Bareroot hedging. But the planting procedure is exactly the same as the Bareroot planting procedure that I've just shown you. So if you're looking for a frost-proof hedge, laurel and beech are two hedges that I can totally recommend for you. Just follow the procedures that you've seen in this video, and next spring give them a liquid feed once the growth starts in March and April, and you're going to have a fantastic hedge next year. I'm Tommy B from KillarneyGardenCentre.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Killarney Garden Centre.